Hey guys, welcome back to Mortgage Matters in Minutes. I'm your host, Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. Today we're going to chat about the 2836 rule, how to budget for home affordability. So first of all, what is the 2836 rule? Obviously, that doesn't mean a lot to many people except for those of us that are in the industry. But what we really want to focus on today is budgeting for home affordability, because that is the goal of all loans. Every lender wants the loan to perform. And what does the loan to perform mean? It means to make your payments, keep your home, and your value continues to go up, your loan continues to come down, and you build net worth through equity. That's the goal that we all want to provide as mortgage lenders, is you to find a great home that you're going to raise your family or you live in and you enjoy and want to make your payments. So one of those ways that the mortgage industry has been able to do that and look at numbers for every person, and not discriminatory wise, but every single borrower, is the 2836 rule. So let's talk about what that means. That was the original number that the conventional loans have set for what's called a debt to income ratio. And we've talked about this many times, whether it's budgeting or whether it's pre-qualification or pre-approval. All loans have to stay within a certain debt to income requirement. And for conventional loans, it's usually a basic 2836. So to really confuse you now, it's 28% of your gross income can count towards your house expense. 36% of your gross income can count towards all of your expenses. So before we get too far down the line here, let's chat about that. Well, this 2836 isn't always implied on every borrower, but if we stay within those thresholds, generally speaking, you will qualify for a conventional loan. Can you go a little higher? Sure, with perfect credit. Can you go a little higher? Sure, if you have a bigger down payment. But based on the minimum credit requirements or debt to income ratio requirements, they want your loan to be at 2836%. So how do we calculate this math? And what we want to look at is your gross monthly income. And that's something some people follow and some people don't, but you can do your own budgeting, because you don't want your mortgage payment to be 60 or 70% of your income. It doesn't leave you enough money for groceries, gas, everything else that you want to throw in your budget for insurance, car payments, anything else in regards to heating, communications, utilities, all those things. So as lenders that we've looked at the numbers, if about a third of your budget goes towards your monthly housing expense, that is very normal, and that should be where things are at for people to feel comfortable about their house payment. So you can calculate your own. The interesting part, or the more challenging part, is what income do lenders use? And we've done videos about different sources of income that we can reanalyze for you. And so versus going back into that, we want to look at income here in the Omaha area and a debt to income ratio in the Omaha area, because taxes and insurance are different than the rest of the country. Property taxes and property insurance are different. So we want to make sure and look at each property to make sure that payment with taxes and insurance is going to fit within that 2836 rule. Also, we want to make sure that you're looking at properties, if they have a homeowners association dues or not, if that's factored into it. Doing your own budgeting and your own debt to income calculation is wonderful, because it knows where you want to be at. A lot of times clients will call us and say, hey, how much house can I afford? And I back it up and say, how much house do you want to afford? Because we're all about budgeting for the future. And you don't only want to budget for your expenses. You want to budget for retirement, insurances like disability, long-term care insurance, life insurance. All these things should fit into your financial budget, and not just groceries, going out to eat, having a good time, events, things of that nature. You want to budget for your expenses and your retirement and your investment first, and then you can spend the rest of your income after the case. So if you need assistance with budgeting long-term, we can definitely help clients with that. Every person has a different life that they want to live, and expectations and things they want to tackle or do or accomplish before they pass away. So we have lots of different clienteles that call us and say, hey, what should I expect for a payment with my budget? And we'll say, it depends. A lot of people will save a lot for investment retirement, and some will spend a lot more time traveling. So we look at all different clients individually to see what do they want to do and what do they want to accomplish. But understanding the 28-36 rule is the best. If you can keep your budget at 28% of your gross monthly income for your housing expense, and 36% would be all of your debts, such as credit cards, mortgages, car loans, student loans, all of those to be in 36%. And what do we mean by 36? Let's say you make $1,000 a month in income. That means 28% is $280 for a house payment and $360 for total payments. Again, many people don't make $1,000, but you can do the math that way to calculate things out. I hope you learned a little bit today. If you did, please subscribe down here below. We'd love to have you follow along each and every week with more mortgage tips, real estate advice, and just what it takes and what it means to be a homeowner, and giving you the best leg up to prepare and plan for that or upgrade to your next home. Again, I'm Brent Rasmussen, owner of Mortgage Specialists. We hope to see you next week and each and every week moving forward. Have a great rest of your day. Mortgage Specialists. Driven, trusted, reliable.